Alright, so welcome back to another strategy video for Forest Shuffle Dartmoor. So for this video, I'm going to be going over the insect strategy. And so the first card we have here is the moor called Valley Mire. This, if you satisfy its binocular bonus, will let you play an insect for free, and also it will score you 2 points for every insect you have. Now, with that said, there is actually 2 plants in this game that also will let you play insects for free. The greater butterfly orchid lets you play an insect for free if you satisfy its binocular bonus, and the meadow sweet plant will also let you play an insect for free if you satisfy its binocular ability. But since these are plants and they will be much more useful in the plant strategy, we will talk about them in greater detail in the plant strategy. But let's focus on the bug strategy. So now that we've mentioned 3 different cards that let you play insects for free, in this game, the best insect to play for free is actually going to be the dragonflies or the damselflies, okay? There's 5 different species, and if you want the 30 points, you're going to need 5 of them, all 5 different species. That doesn't mean you can't have a certain amount of others as well. You could have like 3, you could have like 2 of the same species, and that would still score you 5 points, even if you had 5 completely different species, but you had doubles of 2 of them. That would still score you an additional 5 points as well. So there's nothing, it's not too big of a deal if you play multiples of the same species of damselfly, just like with the butterflies in the original game. So yes, we've got 5 different species of damselflies, and like I said, they are all really good to play for free. So we have the southern damselfly, we have another one of those southern damselflies. We have a small red damselfly, a keeled skimmer, and a beautiful dem as well, and an emerald damselfly, okay? But at the same time, there's going to be cards that score you based on the amount of dragonflies you have. And so one of them is going to be a plant that is called water soldiers. Okay. So what this does is it's going to score you 2 points for every dragonfly you have. But it also lets you play any number of dragonflies on the tree, shrub, or moor that the water soldiers plant is on. So you could have 10 dragonflies on the same tree, the same shrub, the same moor that water soldiers is on. So that's a good card that's going to work well with this strategy. But there's another bird here. The common moorhen here is going to score you 2 points for every dragonfly as well. So this is another good card that's going to work well with the insect strategy and score you points based on the amount of dragonflies you have as well. But then we also have the curlew. This bird will actually score you 10 points if you have at least 5 different species of insects. So if you have all 5 different species of dragonfly, then you're going to get 10 additional points if you have this bird. Now, this game only has a few insects in it besides the dragonflies. There's the 5 dragonflies. There's this blue ground beetle. And then there's the lake fly and the gnat, and that's all of the insects in this game. So if you're intent on getting the 10 points, you're most likely going to want to focus on the dragonflies. But dragonflies are bugs, so they're still going to score you 10 points. So that's another good card that's going to score you points based on bugs. Then we have another plant here that's also going to score you points on bugs. It gives you 1 point for every insect you have. So while that's not super strong, it's an additional card that could score you additional points with the insect strategy. Now, while the blue ground beetle is an insect and it would help with the, especially help with the curlew in scoring additional points there, it's not a super useful insect either. It's actually more useful with the plant strategy. And in fact, the plant strategy is a good strategy to be working on, since there's a lot of plants that help the insects and scoring points and playing insects and things like that. So the plant strategy is a good strategy to work on if you're playing the insect strategy. They work very well together. So this one is a good one if you're working on both strategies, because it lets you play a plant for free if you satisfy its binocular bonus. And it's worth 1 point for every more tree and shrub you have as well. Now with that said, the gnat is an insect you can play with this strategy, but it's only really useful if you're going the bat strategy. And that same goes for the lake fly. It's another insect that's only super useful with the bat strategy. So we'll go over it when we go over the bat strategy. And that is everything for the insect strategy that you need to know if you're working on the insect strategy. Those are the cards that you're going to want to play. So see you guys in the next one.